lost the last apartment I had, lost my last truck, and family had given up on me, so I wasn't no place to stay there, and so I was out.
I was spiritually bankrupt. I'd really hit my bottom then.
I just wanted to keep drinking. I was hoping one day I wouldn't wake up.
I was close to death when I came here, so it would have been over.
Serenity Lane has been treating people with alcohol and drug addictions since 1973. We are a private, not-for-profit, family-oriented treatment center, and our only mission is to heal the addict or alcoholic and their families. Our programs, lasting a year or more in duration, cover the full spectrum of intensity, from hospital detox, residential treatment, and intensive outpatient programs, to weekly recovery support groups.
At Serenity Lane, we treat the disease of chemical dependency. For years, there's been a stigma associated with the disease that relates this to something that has to do with willpower, or just a matter of saying no. But we understand it takes more than that. Through education, intervention, and treatment, we offer the hope and the tools necessary for lasting recovery.
My father and his brothers were taught by their father how to drink. So I was introduced at age 6. I was an alcoholic, I know, before 13 actually.
Well, after 10, 12 years, whatever, out there, scrounging around and sleep wherever I could. Well, a lot of people see my picture and stuff, and it's not pretty. I knew some people in the community, and they said, well, why don't you get help? I said, well, I've heard about these programs and that program, and I just heard nothing but bad things, They said, well, they went through it. Well, here they're out there on the street drinking again.
I just finally got tired. I was just freaking tired in my heart and in my mind. I was burnt. I just wanted to keep drinking. I was hoping one day I wouldn't wake up. That's how bad it was. I was just freaking tired and killing myself.
I had gone to residential treatment for 21 days in the summer of 2001, and I did okay. I did about 2.5 years that I was in working a program, but I wasn't really working it to the best of my ability. So what happened was I went to my stepson's wedding and I drank. And I thought that I could just control it for that one night, and I was wrong, I couldn't. I blacked out, and it took me about 6 weeks to get back up to my full level of drinking 2 bottles a day. It was quick, that second time, so the disease, just picked up where it left off. My life was a mess.
The nature of this disease is relapsing. And when they do relapse, we want that person to have a place to go where they can regroup and rethink their disease, because you'll ask these people and say they were very contented during their sobriety period. Once they fell off the wagon, so to speak, their life deteriorated again, and it's a very, very progressive, rapid rate that they go when they do relapse. So we want to give those people more of a graduate course experience in regaining that sobriety again and being able to get all that happiness and joy that they had when they were in sobriety.
When I did relapse, I relapsed pretty hard. I knew that if I didn't have the opportunity to come back here to ExSL program, that I would have died. This disease, alcohol, did kill me once back in actually 2002. I had a grand mal seizure after I stopped drinking. I was just pretty miserable still, actually. That's what I was miserable.
The reason a person relapses is because they probably didn't face something the first time around, or they didn't become totally honest with themselves.
My denial layers were thick. I had layers and layers of denial that really kept me stuck in my disease. So I knew that I needed it. So deep inside I knew, but on the surface I was scared. I was really afraid of the time away from my family.
Not everybody relapses. Maybe 75% of people get into primary treatment, go on with their lives, and do well. And those people that haven't made it, it doesn't make much sense for them to go back into the same primary treatment that they went before. They need something additional.
I was here 21 days in residential, and I had a couple of problems. First of all, my counselor, Adam, I didn't think was buying my program. I had been through treatment before, and I knew if you said the right things and you followed the program and you were a good boy, everybody'd stay off your back. But I really didn't think he was buying it, and my wife wasn't buying it, and my children weren't buying it. So I had thought about going into ExSL, one, to avoid going home for a while, but more importantly, some of the people in there told me, if you have the constitution to get through it, it's a great program. My problem was the counselor that was running it terrified me, so I had mixed emotions about going. But I knew I would drink again if I went back out on the street. So I think that that also added to that decision on my part to go ahead and do the ExSL program.
He came in about 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
He was really shaky. He's on these kind of meds here.
Okay, I'll go see the patient
Okay.
and do his exam. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Millie.
All right.
Hello, Mark.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Dr. Schwarzer. Nice to meet you.
Nice to sit up here for
When a person is accepted and admitted into our ExSL program, we make sure they have a day of stabilization observation and any, of course, medical withdrawal that may be necessary. And I do a complete history and physical examination on the patient, both mentally, emotionally, psychiatrically, to make sure they're stable for the program, make sure they're physically capable of doing that. We have a 24-hour nursing staff that monitors them, make sure that they're healthy enough and able enough to do the program.
The ExSL program is actually, it's my lifesaver because I took it to heart, and that I was more honest with myself. There was no BSing. And just to have that kind of environment, you learn structure, responsibility, you learn how to build your own foundation, which is pretty awesome.
So the difference with ExSL was that I learned to be accountable for my actions.
It was what I needed, but the most excruciating thing emotionally and physically I've ever been through, ever.
Serenity Lane's ExSL program is specifically designed for those relapse-prone individuals who've made slow progress in primary treatment. This long-term program, housed in separate facilities on our campus, stands apart from our residential program by providing a therapeutic community for the healing and support of recovering addicts through a total change in lifestyle. Addiction is viewed as a disorder of the whole person, affecting many aspects of daily life. It is not enough to deal exclusively with the chemical of abuse. Therapeutic communities have been shown to be the most effective mode of treatment for the relapse-prone alcoholic and addict.
It's a difference in night and day, actually. You learn to be yourself, you learn to get to know yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. It teaches you that. Once I started doing it, though, I took it nonstop. I went full bore with the program because I knew that that's what I needed to stay alive.
For people who continually relapse, I mean, I didn't relapse, I just drank all the time. I wouldn't call it a relapse. It's uncomfortable, it is difficult, but that's why for the people it works for, it works. But that's the only reason I'm sitting here today. Those people taught me how to deal with my problems. There was no avoidance. I knew every day I had to deal with the issues.
Once I became willing and once I surrendered and once I realized that this was really going to help me, that it was going to be different than the 21-day, I knew that if I did the best job I could, that I would definitely gain something, and I sure did. The counselors were wonderful. I really became involved. I worked hard. And that's what really changed. One of the counselors said to me, "Nobody can do the work but you." And that changed my life. And it seems so simple now, but that's the truth. You know, only I could do the work. And that's what I did.
The ExSL program has a highly structured daily regimen, providing order, reducing boredom, eliminating drug use preoccupations, and enhancing satisfaction of accomplishments.
The patients get closer to one another than they normally would in a 21, 28-day program. They do everything together. The closer that the people get together, the more they will be honest with one another in group.
The program promotes a willingness to confront others in a supportive way, in keeping with the rules and spirit of the community, checking attitudes and moods, and promoting appreciation of each other's progress. Each person's needs define their pathway to recovery, with a focus on elimination of self-defeating behaviors, promotion of social attitudes and values, and caring for others. The ExSL program helps patients focus on core issues and unfinished business, that, if left unresolved, can directly trigger relapse. This extended treatment environment provides extra time to conquer thinking errors and overcome cravings, with the goal of attaining total abstinence. Internal studies indicate a very high success rate of recovery for those patients who complete their prescribed treatment. Even though ExSL patients are the toughest of the tough to treat, we've experienced excellent results and believe it demonstrates our success with this difficult population. The program helps relapse-prone patients find answers they were unable to find before.
Life today is so much better. I look myself in the mirror, I like myself. My kids respect me, they learn from me. I'm not afraid. I don't live in fear.
I'm almost middle class now. Okay, I told somebody, I'm in debt. So well, you're middle class then. Yeah, so I have credit cards. 'Cause I had nothing. I came here without a penny, I'll guarantee you.
I wake up every morning looking forward to the day instead of wake up in the morning with beer and then going on to whiskey. I'm enjoying life.
Life is good. I mean, it's the best it's ever been. For those of us who have tried the other programs, I just don't think there's any other solution. I mean, that it's tough, and that's what it's for. And I would recommend it to anyone, that has an ongoing problem.